Hi, everybody. Jake Slebodnick for your hometown radio stations and Renda Digital TV. A special high school preview here on Renda Digital TV as we welcome in the Conemaugh Valley Blue Jays to the Heritage Conference. Their first year in the conference. So happy to have them in Conemaugh Township in it. And joining me here on our Blue Jay preview, head coach Matt Kent. And our preview brought to you by Luther Ford and Homer City. Proud to bring you the Luther Ford Coaches Corner every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 a.m. on WDAD and WDADradio.com. Remember, since 1969, Coaches Corner presented by Luther Ford of Homer City and the Luther family of dealerships. Coach Kent, great to meet you. Glad to have you here. First thing I got to ask you, what's it feel like being in the Heritage Conference?
It's awesome. This is all new. You know, it's sweet. That's all I can say. It's awesome you guys come up here and what you do, and yeah, you know how to treat someone and make them feel special. So thank you for that.
Anytime. So one thing I got to ask, when you look back at the past couple of seasons, because you've had run-ins with Heritage Conference teams more or less toward the tail end of the season, now you got a whole slate of games against them. What can you tell us from your experience what to expect from the Heritage Conference?
A lot of hitting. This is a conference where they hit. We like to hit, so we kind of fit that mold. So it's going to be very competitive, and we're excited to do that.
What can you sort of size up your team? We have a lot of listeners and viewers who may not be familiar with what Conemaugh Valley may bring to the table. How can you size up your team for our listeners and viewers out there?
We have a group of kids who they put the work in the weight room. We're a little undersized up front, but they're very strong. They like to compete, which is a big thing. And what they bring to the table is a lot of pride and a lot of strength. So they like to go out there and like to bang heads with the best of them. And sizing anything to them, it's all about going out there and smash mouth football is what we like to call it.
Over the past couple of years, you've had to partner with Ferndale to sort of make ends meet. How challenging was it to get over that hump? But now that you're finally, out of that troubling period, and you guys finally have a platform once again, how was that transition, making things easier for you guys?
It's always good to have extra kids coming up, from somewhere you're not expecting to come. And us and Ferndale had a real good relationship now, being we were one of the biggest rivals in the area at one time. So for us to come together, it's pretty special that the kids got together the way they did. There's no problems with us and them, and they come in just like they've been here at our school forever. So yeah, it's a good relationship we have with them.
For those watching and possibly listening on your hometown radio stations and Renda Digital TV, the reason they partnered it was back in the COVID pandemic. We saw some smaller numbers for these teams, so they had to partnership almost like United Valley with United and Blacklick Valley, and it's done wonders for Conemaugh Valley. And another thing this year, you guys are starting to get lights here at the football field. I know a lot of things that I hear is, hey, does Conemaugh Valley still play on Saturday during the day? And, the whole rumor of whether there's lights here. But now you guys are able to play Friday night and join the rest of the Heritage Conference. How good does that feel?
Oh, that's awesome. It's going to be exciting to be under the lights for the first time, here in Conemaugh Valley history. It's a long time coming. Saturday games were okay, but we grew out of that. Now it's time for a change, new conference, new change, new start. So that's what we're excited about.
Talk to me about some of the players you brought today, Noah, Carson, Adam, Devin, and Tom. What do they sort of bring in terms of leadership quality on and off the field?
Every one of them kids have been leaders since they were in 9th, 10th grade. We had low numbers. They were the guys that took everybody in on their wing and basically led the way for the young guys and for the new guys coming in. And without them, it'd be hard to go on with a good team. So they're the core of this team.
Adam's your main quarterback. Is he more of an aerial guy, well-balanced quarterback, speedster? What does he bring to the table?
He's a good runner. He's pretty smart in the center, but he's working on becoming a passer. So we did well at the Richland 7-on-7 this year. So yeah, he's learning the ropes on throwing the ball a little bit.
What were some of those takeaways from that 7-on-7 with Richland?
Basically, our defense got better, our secondary. So from last year to this year, they learned a lot. Last year they had a lot of coverage errors where they were blowing coverages, and this year they got a little smarter on that, and they're covering it better. So
you opened the season against Portage. They historically have been a tough team, but last year they were in the same position that you guys were. They're new to the conference. They want to make a strong first impression. What do you guys need to do against the Mustangs in order to make a great first impression in the Heritage Conference?
Win.
Simply put, less is more. Coach, thanks so much.
Right. Thank you.
Coach Matt Kent of the Conemaugh Valley Blue Jays and our Blue Jay preview brought to you by Luther Ford and Homer City. Proud to bring you Coach's Corner every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 a.m. on WDAD and WDADradio.com. And since 1969, Coach's Corner has been presented by Luther Ford and Homer City and the Luther family of dealerships. It's going to be exciting to see what Conemaugh Valley brings to the gridiron this season. Follow along all season long with your hometown radio stations. For the Coach and for the Blue Jays, I'm Jake Slebodnick for your hometown station.